Alright, so today we're going to go over the simple moving average. And what that is a moving average calculated by adding the recent prices and dividing it by the number of time periods. So you can have any amount, a lot of people like to use the 50-day simple moving average, the 100, 180, whatever it might be. There's a lot of different ways to calculate basically where the trend is going for a current stock and how it's acted before, and if you're sort of in the medium range or if you're above or below it. What we'll do today is check out the 180 versus 9 SMA. And what this tells you is a really good idea of how strong or weak the current stock and ticker is based on the time frame that you have set. So it's very flexible. It can be used in multiple time frames. You can use it on any stock, and it's good to use for both day traders, swing traders, whatever you're trying to do. It'll give you a good idea of how strong the stock is at that current point in time. So how do we set this up? First, when you're in ThinkOrSwim, what we'll do is we'll go to studies and we'll edit the studies, and within the price column here you can add new studies. So here we'll look for simple moving average, add that in, and we'll add 2, right? Because what we want to see is the 180, which gives you a better view of the previous averages on a longer term, and then a more recent one with the 9. So I'll change this one. You can double click, go to close, change it to 180. And what I like to do is change the color itself to red. There's a lot of other options here based on what you prefer. Numerical Boolean, you can draw it in very different ways. There's a style of how much spacing you want between, and the width. I like adding a little bit more width just so I can see it clearly, and we'll set OK to that. Now for the second one, you don't have to change anything. We like the 9 SMA and it works well with us. And I'll have this one default to blue. Once you have that set up, you can go ahead and apply, click OK, and you should see it now set up. There we go. So now we have both the red one, which is our 180 SMA, and the blue one, which is our 9 SMA. And what we like to do here is to look for essentially breakouts, right? What happens when the most recent, the 9 SMA, is strong? You'll see it break above the 180 SMA, and you can trade that. And we'll go through a couple examples, but that's sort of what you're looking for here. Whether you're trying to short the market or you're trying to catch these breakouts, this intersection tends to be a really strong indicator, along with volume, of what's going on and how strong or weak this stock relatively is. All right, so we're going to start with the 30-minute, and we're going to start with Ford. And what we see here is over the past couple of weeks, there's been a general trend here. As we can tell, there was a breakout that happened Thursday, and this was a couple weeks back. So around the beginning of June, we see the breakout. And I'm using 30-minute for those who are swing traders, for those who aren't looking to react to the stock immediately or to have any changes within the stock. You just want to look at what's going on at a very high level and then make adjustments. And what you can see here is we're going from right on this Thursday, coming from Wednesday, we see the stock break up, right? The 9 SMA crosses over the 180, and that shows you strength. And what shows you more strength is that the stock is above, right? So if you were a day trader, you could look at this and say, hey, we're having very significant increases, big volume. I'm going to buy in right when market opens, when I see it above the 9 SMA, and you can hold it until it breaks below right here at 13.14, and that would have netted you around a 60-cent increase. Sorry, that is a 40-cent increase. Don't mind my math. Now this is only if you're a day trader. Now, if you're looking to swing this stock, you can then take this and say, hey, we're not really breaking below, right? We're sort of hovering and accepting this price range right around the 9 SMA. I'm gonna hold it until I see it break it down. And what I mean by that is if you take this out and zoom out a little bit more, you see how the price still sort of hovers around and attaches itself to the 9 SMA, and it holds it, right? And then you see it slowly break down. But what you'll want to look for is when it breaks underneath, right, the 180 SMA. And we see that here. So if you held a little bit longer, you could have sold it at 13.5 from a 12.8 buy-in, and that's a 70-cent gain over a 6-day period. All right, now let's take a look at a couple of examples within the 5-minute SMA, and this is what I'll usually use for day trading, right? If you're just going about your day and You're going to be glued to the market. You're looking at how things and prices and news are reacting. This is great to seeing how to get in and out within a short period of time. In this case, we see a couple of things. One, we see a double bottom here happening, but also we see the crossover happening right around 8:30 of this day. And when this happens, you will notice that it's breaking up, right? So as a day trader, you could wait for the clearing of the double top right here in this middle area and buy in here, right? This would be 654, and you can sell when it breaks back underneath, right? Fully breaks underneath at 671, and that would be around $20 of profit, right? 655 to 671, maybe $15. So it depends on where you want to go there. Or another thing that people like to do is, if you know and you see strength, you could have taken it right at the break, right? So you could have taken it right at 650 and taken it all the way up to 671 at this break, and that would have been a $20 profit. So that's how you would day trade using the 180 and 9 SMA. So give this a shot. Let me know what you think of using the 180 versus 9 SMA. If you have any questions about how to set it up, or if you have any trouble, let us know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Thanks again for tuning in, and stay hungry.